And then just remind me tomorrow.
Broadcasting too.
Remind me, broadcasting, okay. Is it past on time?
No, I started always a few minutes early. Just be aware. Just assume anything. I'm a little cold still. What are you doing? Are you doing
Yeah, I did figure we'll do just get it.
I asked my kids if they want to do a Celestian, so I went, that's all right, let's do it.
Okay, ready? Checking. Shabbat Shalom.
Check, check. Hi, everybody. Woo. That's really good. How's that? Is that better? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Check.
That's a normal voice. Check, check, check. How are we doing? A little echoey, echoey, echoey. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check, check, check. That's a little too less. We need a little. That's a little too much. Check 1 2. Check, check, check. How's that? Good. Not too much feedback. Not too much echo.
Checking 1 2
Just
3.
enough echo.
Check, 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 check.
Check, check.
Shabbat Shalom. Think we're
Check.
good.
We're good? We're better. All right. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's Hanukkah. It's Funukah. This is our first Hanukkah. It's Funukah back in person in 2 years. Yay. I'm really feeling more like Hanukkah's Funukah.
Me too. Like
Because
Hanukkah Oilika.
Hanukkah Oive
Oilika.
Yeah, it's been a lot of sugar and oil this past week. I don't know who thought of the holiday focused on fried food should last 8 days. You thought that would be a good idea. But you love that guy? That's wonderful. Yes, somebody had probably an inn with an olive oil press, and they were like, what can we do? We got to sell. Okay. So, anyway, it's wonderful to have you here. Hanukkah Sameach, Shabbat Shalom. It's also Rosh Chodesh. It's the new month of Tevet. So if you didn't have a reason to celebrate for the first two, it's Rosh Chodesh Tevet. We got a lot of things going on tonight. It's not going to be the exact Hanukkah Funukah if you've seen in years past, but we're really glad that we have some of our choir members here to help lead us in our Hanukkah medley. So we're going to get right to it. Yes.
Bring them on up.
Right. Where are our choir members? Come on up. Socially distanced singing?
Pretty much.
Sort of. Ish.
So you have your song sheets in front of you. The first song we're going to join together is Ma'otzur, and then on your song sheets, it's number 2 on your song sheets, I believe. Is it number 2?
Oh, yes, it is.
You have to call pages, you have to call the song
Song
numbers.
2.
Okay. Right into the microphones. Ma'otzur Yeshuati Lecha na'er l'shabeach Tikon beit tefilati Vesham toda nizabeach Letachid matbeach Mitzam nameach Hazegmor Beshir Mizmor Chanukah HaMizbeach Hazegmor Beshir Mizmor Chanukah HaMizbeach Rock of Ages, let our song praise thy saving power. Thou amidst the raging foes was thy sheltering tower. Furious they assailed us, but thine arm availed us, and thy word broke their sword, when our own strength failed us, and thy word broke their sword, when our own strength fails us. So we're going to move to Hanukkah, Chanukah, Chag Yafeh Kol Kach.
Song 3.
Song number 3 on your sheets. Chanukah, Chanukah, Chag Yafeh Kol Kach, Or Chaviv Misaviv, Gile Yeled Rav. Chanukah, Chanukah, Sevivon Sov Sov, Sov Sov Sov, again, Sov Sov Sov, Manayim Atov again. Chanukah, Chanukah, Chag Yafeh Kol Kach, Or Chaviv Misaviv, Gile Yeled Rav. Chanukah, Chanukah, Sevivon Sov Sov, Sov Sov Sov, Sov Sov Sov, Manayim Atov. And then we'll move to Sevivon Sov Sov Sov, Chanukah. What number?
Oh, sorry, Song 4.
Sevivon, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sevivon Sov Sov Sov, Hanukkah Hu Chag Tov, Hanukkah Hu Chag Tov, Sevivon Sov Sov Sov, Chag Simcha Ha'ula'am, Nes Gadol Haya Hasham, Nes Gadol Haya Hasham, Chag Simcha Ha'ula. Again, Sevivon Sov Sov Sov, Hanukkah Hu Chag Tov, Hanukkah Hu Chag Tov, Sevivon Sov Sov Sov, Chag Simcha Ha'ula'am, Nes Gadol Haya Hasham, Nes Gadol Haya Hasham, Chag Simcha Ha'ula'am. Not by might, not by power.
Not by might, not by power. You might be wondering, what does this song have to do with Hanukkah? Well, these words come from the Haftarah that we're going to read tomorrow morning. It's the Haftarah for Shabbat Chanukah. These words, not by might, not by power, from I think Jeremiah and Deborah Friedman put them to this wonderful melody. So that's why we sing it on Hanukkah.
So not by might, not.
Not by might
And not by power, but by Spirit alone. May we all live in peace, not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone. Shall we all live in peace? The children sing, the children dream, and their tears may fall, but we'll hear them call, and another song will rise. Another song will rise. Another song will rise. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone. Ooh, ah, shall we all live in peace? Not by might, not by power. Shalom. O Chanukah, O Chanukah, come light the menorah.
Yes, that song
That's a cue.
is a favorite song.
It's one of our
cue
favorites.
song.
It's a cue song.
It's a favorite song. Okay, there we go. So we're going to join us on Song 9 on the second half of your song sheets. For O Hanukkah, O Hanukkah. Okay, they got it. They got it. Okay.
No, you don't. No, I don't. I just want it, but I don't. Hanukkah,
oh, Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Servivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they share a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shared a sweet light. Let's do it again. Remind us of days long ago. Oh, Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Servivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
Cantor, what's your favorite game to play on Hanukkah?
I love the dreidel song game where we make up words. And what the
too.
dreidel could be. It's one of my favorite things
It's my
to do.
favorite thing to do.
Have you been
every
thinking
Hanukkah.
about it all year long like I have and
No, I've been
coming up
thinking
with
about it
new-
all day. All day long I've been thinking about it. And so as we sing and you think about, wow, that's so clever. If you have a clever rhyme, we might give you a chance to share it with us.
Have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, the dreidel I shall play. Oh, wait, we have a naked dreidel. I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, the dreidel I shall play. My dreidel's always playful, it loves to dance and spin. A happy game, steppin'. Play now, let's begin. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. My dreidel's always playful, it loves to dance and spin. Hold here. A happy game of, hold on to them. Come play now, let's begin. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. Rabbi, do you have one?
I do. I have a whole bunch of new ones. but
What about my favorite one is, I have a little dreidel, I made it out of snow. I put it in the oven. Hey, where'd my dreidel go? Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of snow. I put it in the oven. Hey, where'd my dreidel go?
Anybody have one that they like? Feel free to come on up. It could be fun ones, silly ones.
Yeah.
I have a little dreidel. I made it out. These are not my new ones. I have a little dreidel. I made it out of plastic. And when I went to spin it, oh man, it was
Fantastic! Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of plastic. And when I went to spin it,
oh man, it was fantastic. Somebody have one for us?
I saw somebody
Cantor's
raise
got
their
a
hand.
microphone. Who's got one?
Here, I know Gail's been working on it all day long.
Oh, good. All right, Gail.
Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of mush. And when it gets all tired, it drops and hurts its tush.
Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of mush. And when it gets all tired, it drops and turns into mush. Tush, it hurts its tush.
I
Tushy
have a
mush.
little dreidel. I made it out of latkes. When I play with that dreidel, I sit around in my gatkes.
Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of latkes. And when I play with that dreidel, I sit there in my gatkes.
Everybody know I didn't make up a word for you non-Yiddish
Everyone
speakers.
knows Yiddish.
Gatkes
is your
your
undergarments.
undergarments.
I got one.
Wait, we have one right here.
I
Hold
got
on. Go ahead.
Dreidel, dreidel, I have a little
dreidel.
dreidel. I made it out of chocolate. And when it's dry and ready, oh no, I left it in my pocket.
Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of chocolate. And when it's dry and ready,
It melted in my pocket. Oh, wait, Lori, here.
You ready? Okay.
Yeah, you have a mic.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of noodles, and when I went to spin it, it was eaten by my poodle.
Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of noodles. But when I went to spin it, it was eaten by my poodle.
I can't follow
I have
Lori
Come on.
with tone, but
Dreidel.
I have a little dreidel. A dreidel's just the top, and if you look inside it, you just might find a cop.
Oh, dreidel, 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 it's just a spinning top. But if you look inside it, you just might find a cop.
And very true. Anybody else?
All right, you guys ready for some new ones? I'm still trying to work on one that rhymes
Wait,
with
okay.
dreidel having a wardrobe
Just so you know,
malfunction.
he has been working on it all day, okay?
But if someone can come up with a rhyme, I'm stuck on
All year.
our dreidel having a wardrobe malfunction. That was the first for us. So if you can find one for that, you win the prize. All right, here's some new ones. In honor of 2021. I have a little dreidel. I made it out of a mask. I wear it around other people in case they are not vaxxed. Oh, dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out of a mask. I wear it on other people just in case they are not vaxxed. I have a little dreidel. I made it out of a booster. I got it from my physician, Dr. Irving Schuster. Oh, dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out of a booster. I got it from my physician, Dr. Irving Schuster. I have a little dreidel. I made it out of Omicron. When we're out of Greek letters, will COVID be all gone? Oh, dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out of Omicron. When we're out of Greek letters, will COVID be all gone? Here's the last one. I have a little dreidel. I made it out of friends. I am so happy that we can celebrate together again. Oh, dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out of friends. And I am so happy we can celebrate together again.
It's an internal rhyme.
It's a slide, right?
Yeah.
It's a slide. Any other ones?
We're gonna end with thank you guys.
Thank you,
dancing
everyone.
dreidels.
Round of applause for
Let's
our
give them
dancing
applause.
dreidels.
You can dance their way out.
Just try and keep your dreidels on until you get to
Wait.
the end.
Oh. We're gonna do not by might, not by power.
Thank you,
No, what's the
dreidels.
last one? What's the last one you guys have? I know. So we're gonna end with light one candle. I don't know if it's on your song sheets, but the choir is gonna take us out with a beautiful rendition of light one candle.
Light one candle for the Maccabee children. Give thanks that their light
Didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. Light one candle for the wisdom when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through your life and our tears. Second verse. One candle for the strength that we needed to never become our rose. Light one candle for those who are suffering the pain we learned to long ago. light one candle for all that believe in. Let anger not tear us apart. Light one candle to bind us together. When days are down in our heart. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out.
Thank you to our choir.
I think it ends on don't let the light.
Don't let the song end too early, I think is what they were saying. Yasher koach. Thank you, choir. Thank you, choir. Just be careful, don't trip on the
Thank you for
chords.
allowing us to sing again.
Welcome back.
I love it.
So it's still Shabbat. We got to now do all the Shabbat songs too. But now we're warmed up. All our voices, all our hearts are warmed up. So we're going to continue on page 11 with Lechun Ranana.
Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Naria, naria, letzor yishenu, nikadma fana betoda. Naria, naria, letzor yishenu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai.
Page 14, Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. V'tagil haaretz. Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. V'tagil haaretz. Yiram hayam, yiram hayam, yiram hayam, umlo, yiram hayam, yiram hayam, yiram hayam, umlo.
Page 20, 3 lines from the bottom, Romemu.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu.
Page 23, Lechadodi. We're going to do verses 1, 2, 3, 8, and 9.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתחילה, לה 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 לה, לך לך תודי, לקראת כלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה, לך לך תודי, לקראת כלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מה זה במחשבה תגילה, לה 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 לה, לך לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Verse 3.
מקדש מלך מלוכה, קומי תהי מתוך אפיך, רב לך שבט במקבך, והוא יגמול עלייך חמלה לה 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 לה, לך לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Verse 8.
ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תריצי, על ידי שבין פצי, ואני שמחה ונגיד, לה 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 לה, לך לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
If you're able, we rise and face the entrance to the synagogue, the final verse on page 25, to greet the Shabbat bride.
בואי ושלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
You can be seated. Turn ahead to page 27, Mizmor Shir 27.
טוב להודות.
Oh, yes, and we're going to invite up the Grahams, Jackson, Miriam, who are going to join the Chazan in a new melody for Tov Lehodot Ladonai. It's good to give thanks.
For Tov lehodot ladonai, ulzamer leshimcha elyon. Tov lehodot ladonai, ulzamer leshimcha elyon. On this, the day of days, my lips shall sing your praise, for I know that you'll always be here surrounding me. Tov lehodot ladonai, ulzamer leshimcha elyon. Tov lehodot ladonai, ulzamer leshimcha elyon. My spirit takes release. I close my eyes in peace, and from my soul, heard far above, springs a song of love. Tov lehodot ladonai, ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. I wish to understand the wonders of your hand, for all the blessings that are mine rise from your design. Tov lehodot l'Adonai ulzamer leshimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai ulzamer leshimcha elyon.
Yesher koach. Beautifully done. Yesher koach. Please continue privately through the bottom of 28.
Tzadik ata amar yivrach ke'erez balvanon yisgeh shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenu ovon b'seiva the shady berananim yiyu lehagid ki ashar Adonai tzuri tzuri velo avlata bo.
Page 29.
Adonai melech devesh Adonai ozita zar avtikon devel baltimot. עדותיך נמנו מאוד, לביתך נבע קודש אדוני, לאורך ימים.
Those in mourning, those observing yahrzeit, please rise and join together with me in the mourner's Kaddish. And those at home as well in mourning or observing yahrzeit, please rise if you're able and join together with me, page 30. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach irutei ve'amnich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmeira b'mevarach la'alam ulmei ulmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shmei dekudsha brichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. V'oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Please stand if you're able. We're on page 39a for the Baruch Hu.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la la la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la la la. Yai la 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 la. Lai 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 Baruch hu et Adonai hamnevorach Baruch Adonai hamnevorach hamnevorach leolam Vaed Hamnevorach Hamnevorach Leolam Va Baruch Adonai Hamnevorach Leolam Vaed.
Be seated. We continue first privately in the Hebrew, and then we'll join together in the English. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu asher b'dvarim ha'ari v'aravi b'chol. Please join together with me on page 39a in the far left-hand column where it says, God and Nature, an interpretive translation. Beloved are you, eternal God, by whose design the evening falls, by whose command dimensions open up, and eons pass away, and stars spin in their orbits. You set the rhythms of day and night. The alternation of light and darkness sings your creating word. In rising sun and in spreading dusk, creator of all, you are made manifest. Eternal, everlasting God, may we always be aware of your dominion. Beloved are you, Adonai, for this hour of nightfall.
מבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעבד, ברוך אתה, אדוני, המעריב ערבים.
Amen. We sing together Ahavat Olam on page 40.
אהבת עולם בין ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו למדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו וקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגמם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Amen. Page 41, the Shema.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Please continue privately through the bottom of page 42. Please continue privately again, 43A or B. We continue on page 44 with Micha Mocha.
מלכותו ורצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך Neda bakodesh nora tehilot O sefer nora tehilot O sefer malchutecha ra'u vanecha Bokeh ayam lifanei Moshe Zelianu v'amru Zelianu v'amru Adonai yimloch Leolam vayen v'nemar kivada Adonai et Yaakov Ugalo biat chazak mibenu baruch ata Adonai gal Yisrael.
Amen. Page 45, we sing together Hashkivenu, the evening prayer for peace.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom vehamitenu malkeinu lechayim Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom vehamitenu malkeinu lechayim u'shmor tzetenu uvoeinu lechayim ulshalom mi'ata v'ad olam Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamitenu malkeinu lechayim Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Baruch ata Adonai hapore sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Page 46, please rise if you're able. 46, Vishamru.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם איי 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 ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש יתגדל ויתקדש מרבה בעלמא דברה קירותה וימליך מלכותה בחייכון וביומכון ובחייך בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך למולל מעלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמד קודשה בריחו לאלה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה ויאמרו אמן.
You'll be seated for a minute before we pray in the Amidah. We take the opportunity to share what we're grateful for, what we're thankful for, something good that happened this past week, or something good that you're looking forward to in the coming week. So we can all share in the the joy and the simcha of good things happening in our community. So normally I'd ask you to come up so that the people at home could see, but we have camera operators tonight, so we'll see if the camera follows me while I'm walking over here, if they're making sure to, I have no idea, but hopefully if you see the cameras moving, then they're following. So I can bring the mic to you tonight, and hopefully the camera can focus on you. It did. Perfect. All right. Hi, camera operator. Okay, true. So if you have something good you want to share, just raise your hand, and then I'll bring the mic to you. And we just ask that you stand if you're able, say your name, and then share whatever you'd like to share.
Hi, I'm Gail. Our grandson Benjamin got a 1540 out of 1600 on his SAT. Yeah, he got a perfect 800 on the math, and then a 740 on the English. And people are telling him, if you get into a school that's that's more math oriented, they won't care what you got on the English.
Impressive. Yeah. What question did he get wrong? He spelled his name wrong or something? Well done.
Our little great-grandson, I'm Evelyn, and our little great-grandson Dovi is having his haircut on Sunday for his upsharing.
Mazel tov.
I'm just so happy for my grandkids, my grandson, and my grand. Okay, is that better? I said I'm so proud of my grandkids because my grandson and my granddaughter today celebrate their 19th birthday.
Say your name so everyone knows who you are. Say your name so everyone knows who you are.
They don't need to know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Moss. Joe Moss, everybody.
Hi. Hello. I'm Lee Rose, or Jax, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that I got to sing, and it was fun, and I just really love this community.
We're grateful that you sang and said yes. And we're going to call on you many, many more times. And Miriam, too. Anybody else?
My name is Miriam, and this week I am grateful that I got to come up and sing today, and I am thankful that I got to come here and eat a delicious dinner.
Well put, well put. Anyone else?
I'm just, last Shabbat, I was able to celebrate my last of my nieces and nephews' bar mitzvah over at Adat Ariel, and it was really wonderful to be with family and have an extended Thanksgiving and to be able to celebrate with them. And I missed being here, but it was really nice to be at another synagogue and see kind of how things are done, and we're pretty good here. So
We are pretty good here.
our sound system's really good, I'll tell you that much.
No knock on Adat Ariel.
No knock on Adat Ariel, just grateful and very, very grateful for what we have accomplished here and what we're doing. So.
Amen. Amen. Anyone else? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Don, and once again, thank this community for the bat mitzvah, which was then followed by Thanksgiving, which was then followed by her birthday party, which was 11 girls at the house making noises that brought the dogs from the neighborhood coming and hear screams over, and then ended off in a 5-girl sleepover. So my wife and I are just grateful that we got through that, and that we got her parents back home to New York. Oh, yes, right, yes. Yeah, we got the girls back to the right houses and her parents back to New York, where I would say they belong, but where we're happy that they're safe.
Yeah, just remember, they're watching. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Grant, Madeline. Hi, Madeline. It's a little late for you in New York, but we're glad that you're watching. So, anyone else? There'll be an interesting phone message on your voicemail when you get home.
Hi, I'm Lori Rose, and I'm just hi. Hi. I'm just grateful that the cantor asked the choir to sing tonight, and it was fun to sing all together again. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm Shayna. I'm Shayna, and I agree with Lori Rose, and I want to thank Chazan Friedman for letting me sing in the choir. Also, I have my third rescue dog, and I mean, he's so adorable. They're all diggers. They dig, and I'm planting lots of trees because now I don't have to dig for them. So I'm planting one in all of your honor because I've got big holes everywhere in my yard. So thank you.
I would say that's making lemonade out of lemons, but that's making an orchard out of holes. That's wonderful. Anyone else? Well, I'm grateful for Eitan accomplishing his goal and then some. He did a bar mitzvah bike ride on Sunday. He set a goal for himself of 10 miles in under 55 minutes, and he smashed that record. He got it in under 51 minutes, and I'm also a little grateful that he let me tag along, and I was able to keep up with him for most of the ride. Not quite the whole thing, but I'm very grateful for all of you who supported him and for him for doing it and proving that he could do it. So. With all those wonderful thoughts, we'll pray the Amidah. Please rise if you're able, 47 to 52 in the prayer book, or just take the next few minutes for your own private meditations. If you're using the prayer book, don't forget there's 2 special editions, one for Hanukkah and one for Rosh Chodesh.
Ha-na-na-na-na-na-na, Adonai. Ha-na-na-na-na-na-na, Tzvatai Tiftach. Ha-na-na-na-na-na-na, Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha.
If you're still praying the Amidah, please continue at your own pace. We're going to continue on 54, Kaddish Shalem.
יתקרא שמי רבה,
אמן.
ועלמא דברת קירותי ולמלכותי בחייכון ויומכון וחייך בית ישראל, פגלה וזמן גרי וימרו אמן.
אמן.
יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי מיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפר ויתרנסה ויראה על שמר קודשה. פריגו לילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה. וימרו אמן. תתקבל שרותון כל ישראל, כל דם והוני ושמיה וימרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, וימרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל וכל יושבי תבל, וימרו Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Happy Hanukkah. I hope you've been enjoying lighting up your Chanukiot. But I was wondering this week, is it courageous to light a Hanukkah candle? Is it courageous to light a Hanukkah candle? Now, okay, some of you are giving me faces like that's a silly question. But if you understood the true meaning of what it is to light up the darkness, if you understood the true cost of lighting a Hanukkah candle, maybe it's not such a silly question to ask. Now, some of you may have said, okay, maybe he means, oh, if you light a Hanukkah candle and you're afraid of fire, well then, okay, that's courageous. But lighting a Hanukkah candle is not about getting over your fear of fire. Maybe you're thinking, I know what he means. Lighting a Hanukkah candle is courageous because you are afraid of publicizing the fact that you're Jewish. You know, maybe you're afraid that some anti-Semite's going to do you harm by putting that Hanukkah in your window or something. Okay, maybe that's true, but again, that's not why we light up a Hanukkah candle. It's not to, stand up to anti-Semites. The reason for lighting up a Chanukiah and putting it in a place where it can be seen, according to the rabbis in the Talmud, is Pirsume Nisa, to publicize the fact of the miracle. So we know the miracle, the victory of the Maccabees, but we often focus on the miracle of the oil, lighting up the menorah in the temple for 8 days. But at the heart of that was the faith of the Maccabees, who bothered to light the menorah in the temple, lighting it despite the fact that we know, according to the story, they didn't have enough oil to light it for 8 days, but they still had the courage to light it up. They didn't say, let's wait a week, let's figure out how to do this right. They said, you know what, we can't do everything exactly properly in this moment, but we can do something. So we know what we're going to do. We're going to light it and see what happens. Now we get the metaphor. I'm not saying something radically new here. That reminding people to have faith is an important lesson to teach them. When there's darkness around, you shouldn't despair. Don't get angry at the darkness. Don't rage against the darkness. When there's darkness around, you just have to have the courage to light a candle. Now, we take that metaphor and we make it literal. So we actually light candles on Hanukkah. But we have to remember, it's just a metaphor. Right? Unless the problem is actual darkness, lighting a candle doesn't do very much. If somebody's hungry and you light a candle for them, you haven't really helped them out. So even though we take that metaphor and we make it into something literal, we still have to remember it's just a metaphor. We shouldn't light up our Chanukiot and feel great on Hanukkah and pat ourselves in the back and say, hey, we're done. We lit up those candles. That's all we had to do. Because we know that there is actual darkness, not just metaphorical darkness. There is actual darkness, and you have to do something. So tonight I want you to think about what dark corner of the world are you going to actually light up. Now, if you were following the news this year, you got to see that the second gentleman and the vice president lit up a Chanukiah in their official residence, and they, of course, because it's going to be a big thing, get to pick a Chanukiah, right? So of all the Chanukiot that they could pick for their big public lighting, they picked one with a great story. I don't know if you caught this, but it's an interesting story. So it belonged to a guy named Aaron Feuerstein. Unfortunately, he died last month at the age of 95, but he had a great nickname. His nickname was the Mensch of Malden. The Mensch of Malden. So his legacy lives on in this title and in his memory that he earned, the Mensch of Malden. He got it 26 years ago. So what happened 26 years ago? He owned a textile mill called Malden Mills, and it burned down to the ground. He had 1,400 employees. They all came out of work. It's a privately held company. He got a nice $300 million check from the insurance company. Now, if you are, so he was 95 when he died, 26 years, 69, and you just got a $300 million check, what would you do? Really? You guys are really good people. Retire, hey, call it a day, you're done, right? That's not what he did. He made a commitment to his workers. He knew that they were dependent upon him and his factory and the town of Malden. It's not a big town. Lose 1,400 jobs, that pretty much would ruin a town. So the first thing he did was he committed to his workers and he said, we're going to keep paying you. And he paid their salaries for the next 2 months, full-time, full salaries, even though they're not working, and all their health insurance and all that stuff for the next 2 months. That cost him $25 million. But he didn't take it out of the insurance settlement. He took the insurance settlement, the $300 million, he borrowed another $100 million, and he rebuilt the factory in the town. Every other factory, every other textile mill pretty much in New England by then had moved out. He was one of the last ones, and he decided to stay. Why did he do it? He was asked at the time he was interviewed, like, are you crazy? Take the $300 million and just enjoy your life. He said, you know what? Right now, certainly I'm going to keep paying my workers because you don't throw workers out of their jobs 2 weeks before Christmas. Now, I mean, he's Jewish, but most of his workers were probably Christian. And when he was asked, well, why are you rebuilding? He said, I was raised traditionally. I studied the Torah and Talmud, and it taught you how to be an ethical person and what the right thing to do is. He said the right thing to do is to rebuild here in Malden. So his Chanukiah got to be the one that was selected to be lit by the vice president and the second gentleman in the official residence because of what he did. They lit up his Chanukiah, and it metaphorically lit up the darkness because he literally lit up the lives for his workers, for their families, for basically the whole town of Malden. Now, $25 million, that's a lot to anybody, even to a rich man who owns his own big company. I think it's still a lot of money. I bet it still was a significant sum for him. Lighting a Hanukkah candle, it's not cheap. It's not cheap. I know right now you're thinking, no, it's totally cheap. You go to Rite Aid, you go to CVS, maybe you want to spend big, you can spend like $5.99 for a box of 44, right? You want to get the cheaper ones, maybe $3.99. Right? That's what it costs to light up a Hanukkah candle. Okay, maybe that's what it costs you today to buy that box. Historically, though, it hasn't been cheap. Historically, if you were going to choose to light up a Hanukkah candle, it wasn't cheap. Whether it was wax or paraffin or beeswax or animal fat, tallow candles, whatever you were using to light a candle, it was expensive. For the average person, it was a real expense. Most average people barely use candles. You just couldn't afford it. If it was light, then you could be productive and work. If it got dark, you went to sleep. Trying to work at night and trying to light up a room, you couldn't afford it. Usually it meant if you were going to bother to light a candle, it meant that you were spending money on that instead of food, and most people couldn't afford to waste money on light and not eat. So when you think about what's it mean to light up a Hanukkah candle, that's what it meant for so many thousands of years. It was actually a real sacrifice. I know we don't think about it that way today. I know that all of us could go home and we could probably afford, without batting an eye, to light up a dozen Chanukiot each. And we wouldn't think about the cost. So I want you to go back and remember that it's a metaphor. And I want you to go back and remember that it's actually supposed to come with a real cost. If you want to light up a Hanukkah candle for someone, it should involve some kind of sacrifice. When you do something good for someone that costs you nothing, it's not a bad thing, not criticizing that. It's still a good thing. But that's not what Hanukkah asks. That's not the level of lighting up a Hanukkah candle. If you're lighting up a dark corner of the world and it doesn't involve some cost to you, some sacrifice, try harder. Go bigger. Think about what Hanukkah actually means. Think about what it meant for the Maccabees to rebel against the strongest army in the world. That wasn't an easy thing. That wasn't something I think that they took lightly. It involved a real cost. So if you want to light up your Hanukkah candles and you want to honor their memory, if you want to feel like I'm as courageous as the Maccabee, then you have to take that seriously and think about the level of sacrifice you're willing to make. So that's my challenge for you. It's only the 6th night. You got 2 more nights to think about it, at least for the rest of Hanukkah. There are plenty of dark corners of the world. You can find one pretty easily. Figure out, how am I going to light it up this year? How am I going to be courageous? Not in a way that's easy for me, but one that actually involves a challenge. One that will make me feel that I could say, in this moment, I'm a Maccabee. I'm going to be courageous. And then think about the way we light the Chanukiah according to Hillel. We go up in holiness. Each night, we're lighting another light, and we're making it brighter. That's what courage does. When you're courageous and show someone, I can sacrifice, I can do something, I can light up a dark corner, not in an easy way, but in a hard way, then 1 light becomes 2, and 2 becomes 3, and 3 becomes 4, and on, and that's how the world becomes aglow. Hanukkah Sameach. We're going to continue with Kiddush. Do we have a Kiddush cup? All right. We're going to skip it. It's okay, don't run. We did Kiddush during dinner. We're going to continue with Aleinu. Please rise if you're able, page 56.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotze breishi, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומשה ויקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו וזולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת, אין עוד, על כן נכבד עלינו זרע ונשמה. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
You can be seated. In love, remember those who no longer walk this earth. We're grateful to God for the gift of their lives, for the joys we shared, and for the cherished memories that never fade. This week will mark the yahrzeits of Saul Borsis, Terry Boxer, Abraham Braverman, Shana Cohen, Emma Cohen, Jack Dolan, David Mitchell Ehrlich, Alan Eisner, Isidore Fleischer, Babette Fleschler, Claire Freeman, Greta Grant, Sydney Halpern, Clarice Hananel, Donald Heisman, Mara Kafka, Sigmund Kaiser, Lloyd Klein, Sylvia Klonsky, Lillian Krauss, Harry Kreppel, Wilbur Levine, Anne Luxembourg, Harry Maddow, Bruce Mark, Sonia Motion, Harry Newton, Bella Radler, Alan Rocklin, Albert Rosen, Jacqueline Roth, Martha Schiff, Max Soffen, Alan Stark, Yetta Tepper, Vera Vinnick, Fred Waldner, Benjamin Weissman, David Winograd, Dr. Walter Wolf, and Jenny Zimmerman. Are there any other yahrzeits being observed this week that I missed? And I invite those in mourning and those observing yahrzeit to please rise and join with me in sanctifying God's name with the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 58. And those joining us at home as well in mourning or observing a yahrzeit, please join together with me. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah ve'alma divrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'galau v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach la'alam ulmei ulmaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shmei d'kudsha brichu Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. You can be seated. It's my pleasure to welcome up Susan Luckenbill, the president of TRZ, for a few announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Chazan Friedman, Rav Sella. Thank you to our choir. It's so nice to see you guys standing up there. Thank you to Miriam and Jax for sharing your beautiful, beautiful voices with us tonight. And thank you, Jen Simpson and Amy Graham, for being our greeters. And I think a round of applause for Danielle Stein Newland for delicious dinner and for lovely grab-and-go oneg that's prepared out there. And thank you to our dancing dreidels. So there is a lot more Funukah in December. There's a lot of stuff coming up. Tomorrow, please join us at 9 a.m. for Shabbat services, where we will honor our longtime super tutor, Jacob Diamond. I hope a lot of you there online and here will come in and show him how much we love him. Sunday morning, the hiking club is meeting at 9 a.m. Monday, Sisterhood is having their virtual Hanukkah party at 7 o'clock. There is a link at What's New at TRZ on that email, in that email. Tuesday at 5, there is happy hour on Zoom, as there is every week. Then at 7:30, Rav Sella is having his Around the Rabbi's Tish class here in person and also on Zoom. And then we're back to next Friday night, where we will have Shabbat around the world. Next Friday night, we're going to celebrate the Abu Daya Jews of Uganda, and Chazan will be happy to tell you all about them after services and next Friday night. Save the date, December 17th, is Shabbat Hallelu. Coming up, Men's Club on December 15th is having a poker night. There's a $20 buy-in, and it includes snacks and drinks, and that will be on December 15th at 7:30. And on Saturday, December 18th, we are going to have an in-person hairspray sing-along out in the courtyard. There will be a 60s costume contest, and there'll be a large blow-up screen where you can watch the movie, and it'll be a lot of fun. December 28th, at the end of the month, is Rav Sella's book club, and we are reading My Promised Land by Ari Shavit. And then, last but not least, please save the date. The gala will take place next May 22nd, 2022. We will be honoring Joni and Barry Greenberg and Bobby Sadikoff. There will be gaming, dancing. It'll be a lot of fun, so something to look forward to. Thank you for continuing to support the food pantry. Have a wonderful Shabbat and Hanukkah Sameach.
Thank you, Susan. We're going to conclude with Oh, Jehovah Shalom Aleinu, may peace and come to us. If you're able, if you'd like, you can stand. If you would like, you can put your arm around somebody next to you.
Oh, Jehovah Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Jehovah Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Jehovah Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Oh, Jehovah Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Jehovah Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Jehovah Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Happy Hanukkah.